Faith, prayer and action. I had the wrong faith, prayer and action. That was Will's conclusion as he told his own story of following Jesus. When he came to faith, he really wanted God to bless him. He'd read that if he gave generously to God's work, his local church, his preferred mission, then he could expect God to pour out blessing and make him prosperous. I had the wrong faith, prayer and action. Will's conclusion was a profound learning point on his discipleship journey. He had had a transactional faith with God. He'd learnt that faith, prayer and action worked in a different way. As he loved God more and showed that love in faith, prayer and action, so God was able to draw closer and indeed bless him, providing for his needs rather than his wants. Will told me this when I was praying for our last church council meeting. The main item was the 2024 budget. We face an income deficit of £41,000 and that's usually fireworks, tough debate, but not this time. And we saw faith, prayer and action. Faith, because humanly speaking, this was a large deficit. Prayer, because the church council understood that 80% of our budget was fixed. Personnel, utilities, insurance, parish share, maintenance, and only through faith and prayer will God's spirit of generosity be actioned amongst us. Interestingly, that same day of the church council, my daily Bible reading was St. Paul's instructions to the Corinthian church, 1 Corinthians chapter 16, on the importance of sharing and providing for the church's needs. Verse 1, do what I told the Galatian churches to do. On the first day of every week, each of you should set aside a sum of money in keeping with your income, saving it up so that when I come, no collections will have to be made. He makes key points about faith, prayer and action. Giving was standard practice across the early church. Giving was to be planned weekly. Giving was for everyone. Giving was to be proportionate to your income, whether rich, poor, or in between. And giving was to be programmed, so regular appeals for funds were not required. I share this with you because our Holy Trinity is seeking God's spirit of generosity, that we might indeed in faith and with prayer each decide our action to resource God's work here, so that we can together rejoice in God providing for our church's life and his covering of your daily needs.